Hey, what is up you guys? It is Brie and welcome to the first ever video on my book YouTube. Yay! Now it is officially the 1st of February. It won't be the 1st of February when I post, but it is officially as I'm filming the 1st of February, and this is going to be my January wrap-up / February TBR. So I read 17 books in the month of January, which is absolutely crazy. I did not think that I would read that much. So my reads for last month was a bit of a mix. I did some dark romances, I did some normal romances, and then I did some romantasy, because romance is typically all I read. Some type of romance. If there's not romance, I don't want it. I ended December reading The Pucking Wrong Number by C.R. Jane, so I had to complete the series. It's just a non-negotiable. So I read The Pucking Wrong Guy, The Pucking Wrong Date, and The Pucking Wrong Man. Listen, there was some things that I was a bit like, whoa, hold up. I like it, but I don't think I should. So this is an interconnected standalone series. They do have each other in their books, so you can read them alone, but it's a lot better if you read them in order. And I rated all of them 3 stars. I had a silly goofy time. Did I think that they were the best books ever written? No. But did I kick my feet in the air and did I giggle? Yes. So The Pucking Wrong Number follows Lincoln and Monroe. I read that in December. So let's skip on to the next one. I've just got them up on my Goodreads. The second book is The Pucking Wrong Guy. This one follows Layla and Ari. Now, look, it was good. It was good. I rated it 3 stars. So this one is, I came to LA for my fresh start and then my past showed up. I've moved on. At least that's what I've told myself all these years after the boy from the streets left me to pursue his dream. I have my own dreams now, and they don't involve a 6'4" tattered hockey star who thinks he's God. He tells me I'm the one, that he came back for me all those years ago, that he's never going to let me go. The question is Ari Lancaster going to break my heart again, or is my Mr. Wrong been the right guy all along? Now, look, I did have a silly goofy time. I really did. The second book in the series is The Pucking Wrong Date. Now this one follows Walker and Olivia. This one is, Walker Davis is going to ruin me, but for once it might be worth it. I'm a pariah, an outcast, and my life is not my own. I went to that hockey game hoping for an escape and found one in him. They call Walker Davis Disney for a reason, because the superstar goalie is the Prince Charming of every girl's dreams. He told me he understands I just wanted one perfect night. But now he's everywhere I go. He seems to know everything about me. He keeps saying I'm the one, and he's trying to change my last name. He's crazy. A wrong date can never be a happily ever after though, right? So just in case I didn't specify, these books are a dark hockey romance where the guys are dark, morally grey anti-heroes, where they will do anything possible to keep the girl, whether that includes kidnapping them, locking them in a basement, tying them to the bed. Just a lot of weird stuff. Now the next one is The Pucking Wrong Man, and this one follows Camden and Anastasia, and I think this one might have been my favorite out of all of them, because yeah, I think it was this one, and then it was Olivia and Walker, and then it was Lincoln and Monroe, and then it was Ari and Blake. The Pucking Wrong Man is, whoever heard of a homeless ballerina? Everyone in my life has always disappointed me, but NHL hockey star Camden James says he never will. We meet, and then in a single blink he's made me his roommate, promising me I don't have to worry about anything ever again. They call him a hero, and that's what I desperately need. I remind myself it's all temporary, that I shouldn't get used to it, but he has other ideas. Camden tells me he's obsessed, that he's going to change my life, that he'll never let me go. But as more time passes, I wonder if it's going to take a villain to get me my happily ever after, and Camden James just might be the right man for the role. Now look, it was so fun. There is meant to be a 5th one coming out, I'm not sure when, but it has to do with their rookie, which I can't remember his name, but he is shown a lot in Camden's one more than the others, and even though I only rated them 3 stars, I think I will read it, because he's kind of the comedian, like Ari and the rookie are the comedian of the group. So I think I'll give it a go, because I'm a bit of a sucker for like a dark golden retriever. Like, they got the golden retriever energy, but they will also kill anyone that comes in their way. say less. Now, because I was reading C.R. Jane, I did pick up No Pucking Way and Out Pucking Way. They are from C.R. Jane, but they are also co-written by Mae Dawson. This one, they are a dark hockey romance with mafia ties, and it's also a wire choose. Now, wire chooses aren't everybody's cup of tea. They're normally not mine either, but I did get a little bit of a giggle. I rated both of them 3 stars. Now, the characters in this one, the woman's name is Kennedy, and there are 4 guys, which is Sebastian, Carter, Jack, and also Grayson. So they are like the MMCs and the FMC. And the book description is, I woke up in the hospital 5 years ago with no idea of who I am. Every day I walk aimlessly around the city searching for anything that helps me remember my past. I don't find it until I apply for a job at the local hockey arena, home of the NHL team, the Devils. 3 sexy hockey players inside look familiar, but they insist they don't know me, but they watch me. Every day, their silence continues until a handsome tattooed stranger dressed in a suit saunters into the arena and starts sweet-talking me. Then they jump off the ice ready to fight him to the death, and for some reason he seems ready to return the favor. Now I'm being swept into a life of glamorous darkness and into a war between men I evidently used to love. Now, I'm only going to read the synopsis for the first one because I don't want to spoil the second, like the ending for the second one. Now, I enjoyed them. I think it was good. Granted, there were a lot of things that I was just reading it and I was like, what the hell, like I don't vibe with this, but I was enjoying myself enough to keep going. I did a game of Yes No Maybe, which is just here on my TikTok, and now these books is a dark college romance where it's also a wire choose. So this is a wire choose dark college romance where the FMC's dad is a serial unaliver and everybody hates her pretty much, and it's her and 4 guys, and the books are Make Me Lie, Make Me Beg, Make Me Wild, Make Me Burn, Make Me Queen. Now, pretty much all of them but one are 3 stars. One of them I did enjoy more than the others, and I don't know if that's because the others were barely in it, so it was more just a one-on-one, because I'm not typically the biggest wire choose fan. I can read it, but it's not always my cup of tea. So the FMC's name is Aurora, and there are 4 guys. There is Remington, Pax, Kane, and Stellan, and they call her the demon's daughter because they call her dad the demon. Now, the book description is, the world knows me as the demon's daughter. He's a famous serial unaliver. I did serial and then Siri came up. Calm down. And I may have been his accomplice, but no one knows for sure except for me. The dangerous, cruel men of the Sphinx secret society intend to uncover my secrets and break me. Stellan is my childhood crush who lost his sister to the demon. Kane, the boy with the face of an angel to whom manipulation comes as easy as breathing. Remington, the playboy soccer star full of secrets. Pax, the dark psycho who hides behind his fists. I hoped for a second chance at Darkwood University, only to have my dream ripped away the first time I kissed one of the handsome bastards. They know who I am, and they're determined to make me pay. They should have thought twice about who they're playing with, because I am the demon's daughter. And just because they have the power, the connections, the faces and bodies of gods, do they really think they'll win? I wanted a new life, not a war, but if they insist, we'll see who ends up playing. Now listen, this may be a spoiler, so if you don't want to be spoiled for this series, skip on ahead. The way that they treat her in some of these books, they are a bit of like a bully, they are a bully romance, but the way that some of them treat her, like specifically, I'm pretty sure at the end of the first book, leading into the second book, the way that they treat her is absolutely ridiculous. Like, why would you go back to that? They literally humiliate her in front of an entire cohort, and she still stays with them because she's like, if they think they're gonna win by me running away, they're sorely mistaken. Girl, run away. Like, just leave. I kept reading because I was enjoying it enough to keep going, but by the time I got to the last book, I wanted to DNF. I wanted to DNF so bad, but I'd already read 4 books. I just wanted to get it done and finish the damn thing. So in the last book, one by one, each of the boys pretty much gets kidnapped by her dad, who escapes prison. And you'd think being depressed, being sad, or 3 to 4 of your boyfriends are being kidnapped, you wouldn't be having orgies on the dining table with the other 3. Now look, I am not shaming a girl for pleasing all 4 of her men. that is fine. I actually enjoyed reading it. However, what I don't understand is if you know that your father is keeping 1 or 2 of your men locked in a dog cage, torturing them slowly, how do you find the effort to please 3, 2, even 1 of your men? How do you find the effort when someone that you love is being tortured? Could not be me. Could not be me. The Make Me Lie, Make Me Beg, and Make Me Burn, I did 3 stars. Make Me Wild, that one was a 4-star read for me, but Make Me Queen, 1 star. No, 2. But Make Me Queen, 2 stars. I could not stand Make Me Queen. That was the one where they were kidnapped. Like, could not be me. Not be me. Now, the next book is Emperor of Havoc by Jagger Cole. I love Jagger Cole. I recently found him last year after I got my Kindle for my birthday, and I love his series. They're just so fun, and I love that they're all interconnected. So they have their own series within the series, but they're all interconnected, and it's actually very trippy to wrap your head around sometimes. But the first books of his I actually read were the Memento Mori series, and the 4th book came out recently, and I had a really, really good time, and I rated it 4 stars. So this is a dark romance marriage of convenience book that follows Takashi and Kat. And to note, Kat doesn't have her voice. She hasn't spoken since she was a child due to a childhood trauma. And the book description of this one is: he's a dark storm wrapped in tattoos and muscle, a mafia prince with a killer's smile and a predator's gaze. Takashi Mirai doesn't ask for anything, he takes it, including me. Our marriage is a weapon forged in blood, meant to stop a war. But there's nothing peaceful about my new husband. He's ruthless, chaos incarnate, a machiavellian, I don't even know how to say that word, psychopath with a thirst for violence. He craves control, but I was born to defy. His darkness terrifies me, even as it calls to mine. His touch consumes me, even as it burns me alive. We aren't a happy ever after. We're a collision course disaster. And till death do us part isn't a vow, it's a declaration of war. Now, just in case I haven't said so, please search out trigger warnings for all of the dark romance books. They do contain themes that can be very, very confronting and full on. And some of them don't actually address it to you until it's right in front of your face, and you're like, whoa, what the hell? What is going on? So please search out trigger warnings. Okay, so next, everybody and their mother read this book on BookTok. It is Lights Out by Nafisa Allen, and I loved it. I loved it so much. So this one follows Josh and Ali, and it is a dark romance serial. It's a dark romance stalker where there's unaliving, and his dad is also a serial unaliver. The book description is: I don't need another kink. That thought pops into my head whenever I pull up my favorite social media app, TikTok. But alas, every time I scroll, I learn something new about myself, and another one is born. And yes, I know I'm responsible for what the algorithm shows me, but I'm trying to ignore that fact. Lately, my feed has been dominated by masked men. I favorited videos with them dressed in full cosplay, decked out in futuristic military apparel, and wrapped up like ghouls. But more than anything else, my FYP is filled with shirtless men wearing ghost masks. Bonus points if they're heavily tattooed, wielding a knife, or covered in fake blood. At night, I dream about being chased by them, catching me, and doing deliciously dark things to my more than willing body. I never could have guessed that by sending one drunk text, those thoughts would become my new reality. Now look, I had such a good time reading this. I love Josh and Ali. He is like a golden retriever guy that's obsessed with his girl, obsessed to the point that he leaves food and stuff for her in the passenger seat because he doesn't want her to drive home after work. So he goes to pick her up, still in his mask, but he lets her have a gun so she feels in control. What a sweetie. The bar has been raised. The bar is raised. And I rated this one 4 stars. I loved it. I did. But I wasn't changed by the book, if that makes sense. Which is why it wasn't a 5-star. Look. This next one. The next book is Mr. Masters by T.L. Swan. I did not like this book. I didn't. Oh my god, the problems I had with this book, the issues So first off, this one She's an au pair that moves from Australia to England for a year to help a widowed husband take care of his 2 kids. One is a teenager and one is a child, about 8 years old. And just straight off the bat, I was actually really looking forward to this. I picked up the book on paperback in my local bookstore and I was like, oh my god, this looks so good, I must see it for Sunken Unlimited. It was. I read it, hated it. So the book follows Julian, who is the widowed husband, and Brielle, who is the au pair moving from Australia. And this is the description. He is powerful, older, and my boss, a lethal combination. Job satisfaction has taken on a whole new meaning. When I lied on my resume, I didn't expect it to matter. I mean, any child would love me. I was born to be a nanny. I applied for a position working for a woman, or so I thought. But Julian Masters is definitely all man, the kind you dream of licking chocolate from. The first day was bad, the kids were the spawn of the devil, and I spied through a window and caught him doing something obscene and equally fascinating. The second day was worse, and he caught me snooping in his bathroom cabinet in my skimpy pajamas, and hell broke loose. On the third day, I ran him over in a golf cart, and by day 4 I had decided that I wanted that chocolate, all of it, melted on me. But intelligent widow judges don't fall for ditzy nannies, or do they? I rated it 2 stars. I had a lot of problems with this book. I don't mind the age gap. The spicy scenes, immaculate, they were great. I actually really enjoyed the spicy scenes, that's why it's a 2-star. But the way that I completely understand that there is an age gap and she is meant to be younger than him, but she's not a teenager. So some of her tantrums were just ridiculous, and as a woman in my 20s myself, I would never act that way. Would never talk like that. And that's all fine and good, but as a parent I could not handle it if my daughter came up to me and said, oh yeah, our brand new nanny who's only known us for like 12 hours just called me a brat, a B word, and was swearing at me, and then told me pretty much that no one cares. They'd be fired. Like, she really, the morning after she arrived to take the kids to school, fully swore at the 16-year-old, called her all these horrible names, implied she was a brat and that nobody cares, and then pretty much favorited her brother right in front of her. I'm sorry, what kind of parent hears someone talking about their child like that and then keeps them on? The other thing that gets me, and like I love it, like if you're a nanny, you grow attachments to the kids. That is completely fine. I understand that. But the way she barely knew the youngest, she knew him for like 2 hours at this point, because they met the night before and then the next morning she was taking him to school. She's like getting into bed with him going, oh, I'm so sorry, you're having a nightmare, baby. Like, that's creepy. Cuddling up in the arms, like kissing him on the head. Creepy for knowing him for 2 hours. Like, I get it if you've been in the family for like 6 months, you kind of, okay, we have that level of a relationship where I can do that with your children. But if you've been there for not even the 24 hours and you're calling my 8-year-old baby and getting into bed and cuddling with him, and it's weird. It's weird. And I just couldn't. I think if I didn't have kids, it wouldn't bother me as much, but I do have a child. And that to me is just crazy, and it's weird. And and he was so backwards and forwards. Like, I understand that you do that in life. You kind of can't decide what you want to do. But it was just crazy to me, the way that their relationship would just advance and then go all the way back to the start. And then it would advance. And then, like, they never took it a step at a time. It was all or nothing. Yeah, I couldn't do it. Now the next book is Until I Get You, which is a part of a series called the Fairview Hockey series. It was alright. So this book followed Layla and Lachlan. It is a dark hockey / college romance with a stalker as well, and this is the description. My reputation at Fairview University preceded me. I was a projected #1 pick in the NHL draft and the fan favorite at the rink. People wanted to be me or be with me, except for Lila James Maricool. She didn't look at me like I was her next meal. She eyed me with disdain. Instead of vying for my attention, she completely ignored me and pushed me away. She was completely unattainable, and I became obsessed with her. When I finally got her, it felt like I was on top of the world. I was going to help the team win another championship going into the draft and had Layla by my side. And then without warning, she left me, vanished. It took me 3 bitter, angry long years to find her, but I did, and now she owed me a lot more than just an explanation. 3 years ago, she ruined my life. Now I'm going to become her worst nightmare. This book starts with like the before, so how they met and everything. It's about 40% of the book because I read it on Kindle, so it says 40% of the book is there before and then 60% is after. It's a lot of things, but it's nothing at the same time. Like the book builds so much up, but it just doesn't have the capacity to be filled, if that makes sense. Like, and this one has really intense trigger warnings because they're like, I'd be reading and there's like a rape scene all of a sudden and it's like, what the hell is going on? It would just be implying things, like he's like, oh, she told me all these things, but you don't see it in the book, like you don't get that. So there were times where I'm like, oh yeah, I really enjoyed it, it's a 4-star, but then by the end of it, it was 3 stars. I just wanted it to be done. So it would have been 2 with the ending, to be honest, but I did enjoy it in the beginning, so I just kind of met in the middle and made it a 3. It was a lot, but it was also nothing at the same time. It just didn't give what I think it was trying to. Now, next. This is where I'm in my romantasy era. I read Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and Onyx Storm. I loved it so much. I loved it so much. I actually cried in all 3 books. My heart was destroyed. Now, Fourth Wing follows Xaden and Violet, and it is the best thing I read in a really, really long time. I think other than these, the only other 5-star book I had was Wait For It by Marona Zapata in December last year. I haven't enjoyed a book or a series like I have the Fourth Wing, like Empyrean series, in a long time, and it's really taken me back to my fantasy roots, because when I was in high school, all I would read was fantasy. I would read like The Maze Runner and Divergent and the Hunger Games and the Gorn series and the Strange Angels series. Like, I love those books so much, and this just brings me back. I rated all of them 5 stars. They are all 5-star reads for me. I actually feel a little bit empty, like not reading them anymore. As soon as I started getting spoilers for Onyx Storm, I said, no, I need to read them, and I have. But the description for Fourth Wing: enter the brutal and elite world of a war college for dragon riders. 20-year-old Violet Sorrengale was supposed to enter the scribe quadrant, living a quiet life amongst books and history. Now, the commanding general, also known as her tough as Talon's mother, has ordered Violet to join the hundreds of candidates striving to become the elite of Nevers, a dragon rider. But when you're smaller than everyone else and your body is brittle, death is only a heartbeat away, because dragons don't bond to fragile humans, they incinerate them. With fewer dragons willing to bond than cadets, most would kill Violet to better their own chances of success. The rest would kill her just for being her mother's daughter, like Xaden Ryerson, the most powerful and ruthless wing leader in the Riders Quadrant. She'll need every edge her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise. Yet, with every day that passes, the war outside grows more deadly. The kingdom's protective wards are failing, and the death toll continues to rise. Even worse, Violet begins to suspect leadership is hiding a terrible secret. Friends, enemies, lovers, everyone at Basgarth War College has an agenda, because once you enter, there are only 2 ways out: graduate or die. I was kicking and squealing with this book. My feet in the air. I was giggling. My stomach, butterflies. I loved these books so much. They just completed the part of me that a book hasn't done in a really, really long time. And that seems very cheesy, but it is true. I can't even chill out with it. Like, I'm in love with the series. I love all of them. Redog, Karen, Andana, Rhiannon, Sawyer, they're all my babies. I love them so much. I'm actually very, very upset that the book is done and we have no release date for the 4th book. Yes, they were all rated 5 stars. So this is my reading challenge. I have 125 books I want to read this year and I'm at 17, which is amazing. Amazing. These are the books on my February TBR. I'm not going to go into detail about them because I'll do that in my February wrap up. But the books that I want to read in the month of February are Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling, Blood of Hercules by Jasmine Mars, Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole, the Zodiac Academy series by Caroline Peckham. I'm pretty sure there's another one, but that's all that they're showing me. Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington, and the Cruel Prince trilogy by Holly Black. And also Quicksilver by Callie Hart. They are all the books that I really want to read in the month of February, but we'll see how much of them I actually do read. I also don't know if my heart is in the right place to read some of these books because I'm still so destroyed over Onyx Storm. I don't know if my heart can handle falling in love and being heartbroken by another series. But I'm also just being melodramatic, so who knows. So I really hope you guys enjoyed my January wrap up and my February TBR. I really did enjoy making this video, and I'm hopefully going to be consistently posting every week, which is going to be so much fun. Next week I'm going to be doing a beginning of the year book tag in February, but it's still technically the beginning of the year, so hopefully that sounds like a lot of fun. All my socials are linked in the down bar below, and just give this a like and a subscribe if you think that we could be book friends, if you think that you'll enjoy my content. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.